Chris's enthusiasm that you did so.
That's what you signed up for.
Thank you, Valerie.
Good to be with you all.
Thank you. Ed Schultz, our friend Ed, was at the State of the Union tonight in Washington, and he joins us now from the Capitol, where Ed is with California Congressman John Garamendi. Ed, over to you.
Thank you, Rachel. I think tonight you would have never known that Barack Obama has been the most obstructed president in the history of the country. I thought his demeanor was stellar tonight. I thought America clearly is going to get this speech. He hit all the right notes, and his tone was so uplifting. I'd have to say that I don't think this president has been infected by the disenchantment of working with one another in this town. And I thought it was a very uplifting speech, and I think he hit all the right points tonight and gave examples. And I was really proud of the fact that the president started out very slow, very deliberate, and very positive. He said a lot of things have been accomplished and went through the laundry list of things that have been done. And I think quite often in America we forget where we were and where we are right now and where we're headed with no Republican help. And I think the president, in a very classy manner tonight, basically said to the Congress, don't you think the American people deserve more than what you've been doing? Let's do something for the American people. And he made it very real. It was interesting tonight, a lot of the Democrats that I ran into here on Capitol Hill, you're allowed to bring a guest. They brought a lot of people who have been affected by the health care law, people who had very positive stories. So I don't know if that was orchestrated or not, what they wanted to do, but I ran into a lot of people tonight that were guests of congressional members who had a very positive story to tell. And if you'll notice the little lapels that are on the little ribbons on the lapels of suits tonight of the congressional members. That, of course, is to talk about being in favor of extended unemployment benefits. Joining me tonight is California Congressman John Garamendi, who sits on the Armed Services Committee. Congressman, a very uplifting speech, especially at the end, telling the story of that veteran, Corey Bergstrom, who has done so much for America and that sacrifice.
Well, you saw more than a few tears among the members of Congress, but taken as a whole, this was a very, very positive speech. I left that chamber very, very proud to be an American and privileged to be in Congress. We've got work to do. The president laid out a challenge. He must have laid down 20 different things that we have to get done. We haven't been able to do it because of the Republicans blocking us. Yeah. But nonetheless, it was an uplifting, positive speech, and I'm going, right, this is America. Chris hit it very well. It was about this nation and the enormous power and potential we have, and the president called us to exercise that potential.
Corey Ramsberg, he used this sergeant as an example. Look what this man has sacrificed for America. Can't you do the job for him? I mean, that's what I took from that.
Well, exactly, and the sacrifice in our chamber would be, okay, give up your stated political position, work together, let's get some things done. He laid it out there, the minimum wage, unemployment insurance, education, make it in America, all of these challenges that face us that we haven't done over the last 3 years. He asked us, implored us, and asked the American people to do it. He also asked the American people to step up if we fail to do it.
I was impressed with the way the president asked successful businesses to do more for employees. This is not government, it's the private sector, and I thought it was a very strong appeal tonight. Did you sense that?
Oh, absolutely. It was there. He gave examples of it, and he said, you know, go back, pay a decent wage, and he gave an example at Costco.
Now, the president has been criticized for the use of drones in security.
Right.
Did he address that enough for you tonight? You're in Armed Services.
He did. He said he has taken steps to limit the use of drones, but he was going to use it to protect Americans. I think that's the right balance.
Okay. Congressman, I noticed that the Republicans, they didn't have much enthusiasm on women's issues. They didn't have much enthusiasm on unemployment insurance. In fact, they were very subdued tonight. I've been in that chamber quite a bit. It was a very subdued chamber tonight, and it wasn't until probably 3/4 through the way that the president was really connecting with the crowd. Or did you see it differently?
Well, I guess I'm a little more involved in watching these things more closely from the chamber's point of view. But clearly, the Republicans must have had numb hands because they were sitting on them the entire time.
Yeah.
They just didn't respond, and it was an enormous difference between the enthusiasm of the president, the issues he wanted to go, and the fact that the Republicans simply sat on their hands.
I got a sense from a lot of lawmakers tonight that they wanted the president to come out, for a lack of a better term, really whack the Republicans for not being action, okay, for not taking action. And the president came out, took the high road, but it was very tactful how he turned to Speaker Boehner and basically said, you know, in so many words, you came from a middle-class family. Everything we're trying to do would have helped your family. Very profound.
We'll see if it takes hold. I pray that it does.
Okay. Do you think anything will change? Do you think this has a speech that might move Washington to do something?
Ed, I'm always hopeful. I know the sun's going to come up tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's hope it happens. It has to happen.
That's one of the stories here from Capitol Hill. Let's go back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Ed Schultz from the Capitol. I want to thank Congressman John Garamendi, former Peace Corps volunteer, Mr. Garamendi from California. Well, there's been a lot of comments tonight about the speech's positive nature. I think he did, just to sum up this hour, Rachel, I think he inspired his people. He inspired half the country that was available to him to inspire. And I don't think he really enraged the other side. I haven't heard any anger yet. We'll hear it later, perhaps tomorrow. I did think he created some competing headlines tonight. I think one is his opportunity agenda on domestic, which is strong, including minimum wage. But I also think that threat to veto any renewed or stronger sanctions against Iran